Welcome back to the First Alert Weather Breakdown. Again, I'm Meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thank you for those of you watching on our Facebook and YouTube live streams. Also, we are finally able to get onto our live stream on KSLA.com. So thank you now for those of you tuning in on KSLA.com on our live stream at this hour. We went over a full forecast before the break. Now we are just tailoring the rest of our time, which is about 15 to 20 more minutes. I'm just going to go over for your questions. That's it. I'm going to go over Facebook and YouTube comments. First of all, thank you for those of you being patient and just submitting your questions and still sticking around here through the end of the podcast. Again, I'm here for you to answer any and all questions. I will, as I said, I can be here for 15, 20 more minutes. And then just so you know, real quick before I start doing that, after this, the noon newscast will be on KSLA News 12 at noon. It'll be on the live stream, which you are watching from now, and it will be on, obviously, the TV channel itself, too. And Jake Lambright will have your latest updates if you want any more information. All right, into the questions, which are mainly on our Facebook live stream. I do not see anything on our YouTube live stream at all. Right? Yes, correct. Just double-checking YouTube real quick. Okay, over to Facebook. All right. What are we looking at for? Thank you, Jess. Thank y'all for asking comments and questions. First of all, while I'm talking, let me put a background, or let me put a. I'm going to put a just graphic in the background. I'll change the graphics for questions if I need to. Again, this is the arrival of the mixed precip, when you can expect it to arrive in your own location, and then it all ends again midday on Sunday. Just go quickly over that. What are you looking for in Shelby County? Again, everybody's getting the chance of ice. I do want to stress that out. Let me go into my graphics here. But I will tailor a little bit of a forecast just for you in Shelby County. So Shelby County, again, Friday you're not really getting that many impacts in Shelby County, which is good. Hey, have a nice day on Friday. Enjoy the one more dry day in for you. Before everything kind of starts unraveling there in Shelby County, more towards the overnight hours. And again, it starts as rain. It should start as rain, even on Saturday morning, it looks like. But even then, here's the thing. Even though, like, the mixed precip line continues to, like, slowly but surely shift southward, especially for those of you in the southern half of the Arklatex, you're still going to be dealing with lots of persistent rain in the morning hours. Again, the main thing to track and the main question mark is just how far and how quick, not how far, but how quickly south does that line of mixed precipitation move, which as of this future track for Shelby County alone, it looks like you're mainly hanging with a rainy Saturday day itself. It's not until mainly Saturday night that you start catching in on the mixed precipitation, the ice, the freezing rain, the sleet. Starts Saturday night, and then it rolls into your Sunday. Again, Sunday, everybody's in the mixed precip, and everybody's catching in on this. It's when you mainly need to stay indoors before all of it ends midday Sunday. But keep in mind, all that mixed precip, it's staying there. It's staying there. In order for it to melt, we got to warm up. That doesn't happen until next work week. So, unfortunately, yes, that could cause school closures, those kind of other things in for the first day or two, maybe even more, into next week. Hopefully that answers your question. Chris Allen, just so you know, this is as far up as I can look in the questions on our Facebook feed as well. How's Marshall looking? Marshall, where's my graphics again? There they are. All right, so Marshall, just going back on this again. Again, you're starting out with a rainy Friday, especially end of the day there in Marshall, and that turnover into the freezing rain, the sleet, the ice, all happens around kind of the middle of the day on Saturday. Even then, before then, it's a rainy Saturday early in the morning. He's still not going to want to get out and about all weekend long. And Marshall's going to get in all that mixed precip there throughout the rest of Saturday and into early Sunday. Dallas tomorrow at night, asked Steve. That's outside of the DMA. Dallas, it's kind of the same thing. I don't want to tailor too much into this because this is outside of the Arklatex. But essentially, if you're out towards Dallas, I believe it starts more on Friday. You can kind of see it on the west side of the screen there. Saturday morning, and still, it's pretty much, Dallas is almost the same boat we are, with all this mixed precip through Saturday and through a good portion of Sunday morning. I think their storm coverage just ends a little earlier than ours on Sunday morning. Okay, next. What about Friday morning? Asked Corey. Great question. I love these kind of questions. Friday morning. Friday morning should be fine. Again, as stressed, I'll go into another future track. The earliest these storms come in here, just so you know, this... Hold up. Let me go back in time still. This is your Friday morning. This is still nice and dry. This is fine. You're not worried. It's pretty much the same conditions as what's out right now here for your Thursday, even going into your Friday morning. So Friday morning, still fine. Therefore, your Corey. Tori, a lot of roads or high rises will be closed if icy. Yeah, Texarkana, unfortunately, is kind of is almost like if I had to choose a bullseye for this winter weather to go over, if I had to choose one. Again, this is going to be affecting everybody, but especially some of these, let me go over some of these higher ice accumulation values. Don't take these to heart, but again, these are just showing where more and more ice could show up. And as of right now, it looks like areas towards the I-30 corridor in Texarkana is unfortunately getting the bullseye for the most amount of ice that could show up in the region, period. Again, everybody's getting some, but the worst of it, unfortunately, is what I'm trying to get at, is out towards Texarkana. Excuse me. Oh, man. A lot of talking today. McKenna, what about Webster Parish? So you can see on this graphic, again, Webster Parish still getting plenty of chances of ice in through the Arklatex there for you. I'm using our longer range future track so it can show you Sunday as well. Same thing. For Friday night, it's just rainy in Webster Parish. Once you get into Saturday, though, first thing in the morning, that's the turnover into the freezing rain, the sleet, and the ice. It carries on throughout the day on Saturday and even rolls into your Sunday morning, too. I know I'm going quick over these, but I got a lot of questions to ask and only got about 10 more minutes. We need the snow and ice in Shreveport, as says Zach. Snow, sure. Well, first of all, one of the good news about this, if you want good news at all, is that the burn bans and how dry we've been they've actually been lifted. One of them got lifted in Lafayette County in Arkansas actually early this morning. But ice, no. You never need ice. You never need ice. Lisa says 220, I-49 shut down first, and then I-20 is usually last to go. Yeah, they expect road closures, certainly, for this. I would be surprised if it did not happen. I got two comments in a row from Celeste in Travania. Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it. About Magnolia and Hope, Arkansas. So let's go just cover Arkansas, cover my basis for Arkansas. If you have any more specific questions just about like things other than timing, just let me know. But I'm just going over timing when you just give me like a specific town. It starts very briefly out as rain. Again, that's very briefly, but I think most of this coming through, period, is going to be pretty much mixed precip, even in Hope and Magnolia. And keep in mind, for the areas in southwestern Arkansas and our counties in southwestern Arkansas, this is where the Friday night and the Friday first alert weather day is really for you guys. Because the mixed precip starts on Friday night in Hope, in Magnolia. It starts Friday night. And look at the whole future track. Consistent mixed precip coming through southwestern Arkansas until maybe the tail end getting some snow, but not until Sunday morning. So you're dealing with almost 36 hours of consistent freezing rain and all that mixed precip, especially on top of our southwestern Arkansas counties. All right. How bad is it going to be in Spring Hill? Asked McKenna. I'll just bring up the ice accumulation. Unfortunately, everywhere it's looking pretty bad here for you, but it starts mainly in Spring Hill, more towards Saturday here for you. Again, most of Friday should be fine. It's Saturday is kind of the action day. Saturday is kind of the bullseye day for everything to happen. And even then, we're still going to get a couple more pockets of, not pockets, I shouldn't describe it as that, but we're still going to get more consistent ice coming through, even for Sunday morning itself, too. Okay, hopefully that answers your question there. Tori, will we be able to drive down south to New Orleans by Wednesday or Thursday of next week? I need to leave before next Friday's possible snow. I have not even mentioned that at all. I know I've seen some weather models here for 2 weekends from now. I don't want to discuss that at all on the stream, unfortunately. But to answer your question, do you think you're going to be able to travel to New Orleans by Wednesday of next week? Yes, I do think so. Let's go into that 7-day forecast here for you real quick to kind of demonstrate my point. Come on. Work with me. Sorry, I got to scroll a little bit. There we go. All right. So I think melting, after this comes on through, I think a little bit of it's going to happen on Monday, but I think a lot of it's going to happen more towards Tuesday and Wednesday when those highs actually get well above freezing, more into the 40s and 50s there for you. That's going to help out tremendously. So if you're traveling specifically on Wednesday, I think Tuesday's weather is going to help you out a lot to be able to travel on Wednesday. In fact, I was looking to travel Wednesday myself up next week too. So I think you should be okay to go to New Orleans. That's a great question, though. All right. Justin, quick question because I just joined. How's Shreveport forecast going to look in the next few days? We'll go over the Shreveport time frame. I'll go into the Shreveport specific forecast here for you, and then we'll go over the future track. Give me a sec. So yeah, Justin, for you, Shreveport, Friday, it is going to be a rainy night. Rainy night. A little bit, but even you notice Friday itself doesn't really concern you much, so to speak. You don't have that mixed precipitation coming in until you wake up on Saturday at the earliest. Even then, I'm expecting rain almost into the overnight a little bit into Saturday, but Saturday itself is when everything starts going downhill, essentially, and that's even going to carry on into your Sunday until, again, we all collectively, everybody, gets rid of their precipitation again by midday Sunday, so to go over that on the future track here one more time. Excuse me, specifically for Shreveport. There's the rainy start that starts on Friday night, and then it's going to slowly but surely be converted over to mixed precip through time, which mainly happens during the day on Saturday and then continues into Sunday morning before we let loose finally by middle of the day on Sunday. All right, I'm getting closer in time to these comments. I got 9 minutes ago from Jenny. What are you thinking as far as Carthage? So, again, everybody's getting in on this ice. There's no dodging it. I think the best chances for getting the least amount of ice are down towards Natchitoches and Nacogdoches, mainly because they're hanging around with a rainy day throughout most of Saturday. Excuse me. Now, Carthage, I mean, you're down in the southern end of the Arctic, so if anything, you're kind of getting a little bit on the better side of the system here, but still some mixed precip coming through for you. I'd watch out mostly between Saturday night and Sunday morning. That's the time frame to mainly watch out for. But even before then, it's still going to be very rainy at the very least throughout the day on Saturday. So still, again, not a great weekend to get out and around anywhere around the region here for you. All right, Miller County, McKenzie. So, yeah, further north you are, the worse, unfortunately, it is. And for Miller County, some of this mixed precip could start as early as Friday night, but it looks like most of Miller County, to be fair, you're threading a needle with the mixed precip in Miller County if it actually gets in there for Friday night, but it's definitely going to start in the overnight hours, Friday into Saturday, and then throughout the day Saturday and throughout the morning hours on Sunday until we finally all dry up. I got 5 more minutes, and then I got to say goodbye. Texarkana getting anything? Yes, they are. You're going fishing, you need to know. Texarkana will be getting the bulk of the mixed precipitation starting on Friday night, as just discussed, next to Miller County, and it goes all the way again through Sunday morning. Oh, man. Atlanta, Texas, from Russell. So Atlanta, Texas, Cass County here for you. Let's go over the future track one more time. Backtrack. There's Atlanta. Starts out as rain, it looks like, for Friday night. And then same thing. You're kind of on the border of if the mixed precipitation is going to get down further south to you on Friday night. It looks like it isn't, but we'll see. So Friday during the day in Atlanta is still fine. Friday night, definitely getting some rain first and foremost, but late at night is when I'd start watching out for that mixed precip, and then it's going to be all day on Saturday. That mixed precip coming on in consistently all day Saturday, and then Sunday in the morning hours, it still continues on before finally starting to let itself again loose by the middle of the day. Okay. Texarkana. I just went over Texarkana. I'm sorry, Michael. But essentially, same thing as Atlanta. You're getting over most of the mixed precip again for Friday night all the way through Sunday morning. Yasmin, what time do you think it will hit Blanchard and Shreveport? Because you have a funeral to attend at 5 p.m. Friday. You're fine. You're fine going out to the funeral. To be fair, you might get rain. Let me show you the timestamp with another future track here for Friday afternoon, late afternoon, really quickly. That's Saturday. This is Friday at. Oh shoot! I accidentally clicked the button. My bad. So this is the snapshot at Friday at 5 p.m. You see effects, the precipitation starting to get into the northern end of the Arklatex. That's the northern end. That's going to be, again, an I-30 and northward problem starting around 5, 6 o'clock late in the afternoon. So kind of mentioning this, if you want to get home a little earlier in spots of the I-30 corridor up northward, please do so before that mixed precip comes on in. But for Shreveport alone, on Friday, attend the funeral. You'll be fine. If anything, you're going to get rain late at night. But during the day on Friday, Shreveport should be okay. Webster, will we get help if our roads get bad out here like they did in 2021? I can't answer to any logistical questions, but to weather questions, unfortunately, yes, you are getting a good amount of ice out towards there. Hopefully, the job is done as best they can. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult with the amount of accumulation of ice, which can reach over an inch in some places. So watch out. And just so you know, all it takes, again, is a half inch of ice to make roads hazardous and to make power outages possible. Or I should say likely. Just join. How about Avenger, Texas? So East Texas there for you, Josh. Let me go over the future track. We'll go over this one here for you. East Texas, I mean, if you're Northeast Texas, you might start out as mixed precip late on Friday night, but most of East Texas should actually get rain, if anything, here for your Friday night plans. So essentially, again, Friday's fine, but for East Texas, it really starts coming down here for Saturday. All day Saturday, you see how consistent these lines are coming on through, and for Sunday as well in the morning hours. So don't plan for anything on the weekend days of, but if you have any plans Friday night, they should be fine. Should be fine. All right. Magnolia. Is Magnolia still on the border? Hold up. I missed one from Kylie. Kylie asked about Natchitoches. Natchitoches is probably in one of the best spots you can be in the Arklatex, but that doesn't mean they're not getting anything because, again, everybody is catching in on the mixed precipitation. And I like to use this future track just a little bit more because this shows the end of it. For Natchitoches, rain starts showing up on Saturday morning, but if you notice, it's mostly raining in Natchitoches, actually, and Many. I know you said Many/Natchitoches. It's still raining across the southern edge of the Arklatex throughout the entirety of Saturday here for the most part. So Saturday plans, if you have them and if you need to travel, I think you're okay. Is it wise to travel out still in a day full of complete rain? No. Is it wise to do anything outdoors? Definitely not. Still in those kind of areas, but essentially what I'm trying to get at is if you live in Many and Natchitoches, you're mainly watching out for Sunday morning. Sunday morning is when all of that ice and that mixed precip and the sleet and the freezing rain comes through just in that time slot alone. Again, Sunday morning. Just in Many and Natchitoches. I believe I had something about Magnolia. Magnolia, I see somebody asking about Texarkana. Somebody says thank you. 2 people say thank you. You're welcome. Absolutely. Ice accumulation for the mooring sport area. I'll go over that, and I'll go over Texarkana, and then I got to end the stream. Where? Graphics. Mooring sport. Ice accumulation. So here we go. Ice accumulation. Again, nothing on Friday. Everything is on Saturday for you there. I know this doesn't include mooring sport, but these are the towns nearby. Again, you're looking at around an inch, which unfortunately looks to be devastating in some areas, including power outages likely and travel very hazardous where you can't even do travel at all. Last thing I'll go over is Texarkana. Again, you notice the ice accumulation in spots of Texarkana and Magnolia starting to accumulate beginning on Friday night. So it starts as soon as Friday night, and unfortunately, you guys have the bullseye of kind of this whole winter system. Everybody's getting in on it, but the bullseye, the system for the most impacts are coming, unfortunately, for the I-30 corridor, including most of our southwestern Arkansas counties, including Magnolia and Texarkana, to where, yes, you could get an intense amount of ice. I'll go over the future track one more time here with you. Again, it starts Friday night in those areas between Texarkana and Magnolia. and it continues persistently throughout the day on Saturday and throughout Sunday as well. So make sure you're in place in Texarkana and Magnolia. Make sure you're in place after heading home from work and school on Friday. During the day should be fine for most of the day. Things start coming in the late afternoon hours for you there. All right, I got to end off the stream. If you want more details, noon show is coming up in about 5 minutes on the live stream on KSLA.com, which some of you are watching on right now. I'm Meteorologist Evan Thomason signing off here at this hour with plenty more details, plenty more updates throughout the day today. Thank you very much for watching. One more episode of the First Throw Weather Breakdown or Weather Podcast will be on tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Be there, be square, and most importantly, especially during this time, stay weather aware. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.